Welcome to the Wednesday Live Cap. I'm your host, Allie Burns. This is all brought to you by Picks and Parlays. My partner in crime is Nick Parsons. He's with us today. Hey, Nick, how's it going?
It's going great, Allie. Great to be back. Looking forward to this show and hopefully providing a few winners in the NFL in Week 9 for sure.
Yes, Week 9, NFL is here. This season is flying by, and we do have a special guest with us today. We've got Dan Kaiser on with us. Dan, how are you doing?
Dan.
Good. Is it Friday already?
I know. Usually you're on our Friday shows.
Right.
It's been a long week already. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. It was a crazy trick-or-treating weekend, man. A lot of dogs cashing, a lot of real funny stuff happening. Saw your Michigan State Spartans beating up on the Wolverines. I don't think a lot of people saw that coming.
I didn't.
Well,
I was on Michigan State, so that
were
was
you?
great. Yeah.
Excellent.
And of course, how about the in the NFL, Cincinnati? That was a bit of a big upset there as well.
Finally, my Joe Burrow does something for me. All right,
Wow.
Joe. All right. Well, we do have some good games to talk about today. For you guys at home, feel free to comment and ask questions. Let us know if there's a game you're wondering about. Maybe we can give you some insight to it. So we're going to start out, and also don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. So we're going to start out with the Packers and the 49ers. This is the Thursday night game. This one opened at a pick, and it's already, I see it at Packers -6. The total started at 51. I see it's down to 49. So Dan, why don't you tell me what jumps out at you about this game?
I'll be happy if they play it, to be honest.
There was a bit of a COVID scare, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But I have seen that it is going to go. From everything that I can see at this point, It is a go.
Well, but they said they could also move it depending on tests. Yeah, I guess San Francisco, somebody in San Francisco had it. But yeah, about this game, speaking of Halloween, I think a black cat must have walked across somebody from San Francisco over the weekend. I mean, look at, they lost Garoppolo, they lost Kittle, they're gone for weeks. Mostert's not back. Tevin Coleman's out. I mean, it's everybody goes through injuries, but you lose your starting quarterback, your starting tight end, your best defensive player at the beginning of the season. I mean, they're just snake bit, and they're still 4-4. They still have a chance at the playoffs, especially if they expand them another game. The thing about this game, the line's up you said the line's up, and that's kind of tempting. But I think for me in this game, I like the under.
So it opened at about 52, and it's down around 50 or so right now. So it came down a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how. I know Green Bay can score, but I mean their running backs are banged up. They don't have any running backs. Their offense has been good. Sometimes they don't look good, and I don't know how the 49ers are going to score.
Yeah, that's a rough situation to be in. Who is their backup quarterback? He's played already this year because they lost Garoppolo once already.
Yeah, Nick Mullen, and they were actually down quite a bit there to Seattle, and he came back, and he was decent.
Through the touchdown, yeah.
So, I mean, if you're going to lean to a total, I actually have a play on the total in this one. I have a play on the side in this one. I'm getting mixed up here looking ahead at this Ravens and Colts one. And so I'm with Dan. I like the under on Thursday night. Absolutely. Green Bay, it's had issues. Green Bay has looked really great at times, and it's been really perplexing at times. It lost to Tampa Bay, of course. It came out of its bye week, and Rodgers had 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And so that was against a really good pass defense. Dan has mentioned that there are some injuries there for San Francisco, but the strength of that team still is the pass defense. I believe that they're ranked 10th right now. And so this is a unit that's, they're going to feel that they have to carry this game, really. The last thing that San Francisco and Nick Mullins wants to do is, to turn this into a shootout against Aaron Rodgers. And so they're going to ask him to just manage the game and to limit mistakes. And so that's how they're going to have to win a game, San Francisco. But yeah, I mean, Green Bay, it has been perplexing. What about the loss last week? Dan, what do you think about that?
I don't think very much of it because I had Green Bay. So
I thought that line looked so tricky though. Like, why was Green Bay getting 6.5 at home, to a Vikings team they'd already I mean, I get it was divisional, but all week I just thought that line looked really fishy.
Right. And another thing that Minnesota did well there was run the ball. Dalvin Cook had a massive game. And so San Francisco, if it's gonna have to use that same blueprint, if it has any shot at, pulling off the upset on its home field. And so, yeah, I would say that this one sort of sets up to an under. I like the under. I do have a play on the side in this one. But yeah, no, I'm with Dan. I like the under in this one. But how about you, Ali? Do you have any feelings?
I mean, I'm a little iffy with this game because of the injuries. I have liked how the 49ers just kind of were that little engine that could and kept trucking along. But they, both of their losses came at home to the Eagles and the Dolphins. So I just don't know. I would tend to want to take points with the Niners, but I do like it under. I agree with the under, the short week, all that business. I think the under is the play there. But as far as the side goes, I mean, I think it's like a crappy situation to be facing Rodgers after a loss, after them coming off a loss, and then you don't have all your guys on the field too. So that's like a rough spot to be in.
True. If we were to base it off of that, look at how they did in Houston the week after the loss at Tampa Bay. It was a blowout. Aaron Rodgers completely bounced back. So, yeah, if you were basing it off that, then, yeah, it would appear to be a Green Bay blowout.
Yeah, a couple other things. Like for San Francisco, I mean, only three of their 8 games have been decided by one possession. And no matter who wins, I mean, they average like 15, almost 16 points differential. Whether San Francisco, the opponent wins, it's usually by like 16.
Right.
And they played 4 games this year that's been decided by 27 points or more. And they're 2-2 in those games. So, and I just think without Garoppolo, without Kittle, I mean, Kittle's a big one because, even if without Garoppolo, if you have that big steady tight end that you can get the ball to, I mean, at least that gives him somebody to throw to. He just doesn't have anybody. So I think this game, if you're looking at on the side, you would.
How about player props for rushing? You know what I mean, on San Francisco? That'd be something to look at a little more closely. You guys, before we went on to our next game, I just wanted to. We have a few people following us along now on YouTube, and of course we haven't mentioned anything about Maction. That's starting tonight, and we're not going to be really covering those games. But yeah, that's super exciting. Do you guys know? I just forget how many games it is for the season. Is it 6 games that the MAC is playing?
Yeah, they're playing a 6-game schedule.
Okay. All right. And so, yeah, people in the chat there, they're talking about the Maction going on tonight. They're talking about Green Bay now at -6. Yeah. So
I could see it.
Yeah.
All right. So shall we move on to our next game?
Absolutely, Ali. Where do you think we should go to next? The Ravens and Colts or Raiders and Chargers?
I would like to do some Raiders and Chargers. If any of you viewers on the line with us now watched our Sunday in-play show, you got to slowly watch me lose my mind as the Chargers gave up yet another 16-point lead, and Kurt cashed plus 900 on those Broncos. So join us on our Sunday in-play. It's a lot of fun and you can make some money. But yeah, so now the Raiders are at the Chargers. Chargers are a favorite here, -1.5 points. I see a total of 53. I was kind of shocked to see the Chargers as the favorite. What's up with that?
Yeah, I mean it's really close. This line is super close. I don't have an official play on this one. I'm sort of leaning towards the Raiders here personally. The Raiders are 4-3. The Chargers are 2-5. Las Vegas actually, I think, surprised a lot of people last year. And I think really they're doing that again this season. They had that big win in Kansas City. Some are saying that's the biggest upset, in the last 10 or 15 years or something. And then they also won last week as well. And yeah, I mean, Los Angeles, where does it go after this? After that 31-30 loss in Denver, Justin Herbert, he's been fantastic. I mean, obviously, he's still leading the race in the Offensive Rookie of the Year award for sure. But yeah, the Raiders. I mean, the defense looked great. They clobbered the Cleveland. I mean, 16-6. But I mean, up until that point, and I know that they didn't have Odell Beckham Jr., but still, up until that point, they'd averaged like 37.5 points over 3 straight games coming into that one. So the Raiders' defense, I think, is a little bit underrated, considering they did what they did in Kansas City, and then also last week against Cleveland in Cleveland. And so this is a team that's performed well on the road. Obviously, it's not ideal, though, traveling cross-country from Cleveland over. But, yeah, after that collapse in Mile High, I have, just little faith in L.A. to be able to hold a fourth-quarter lead if it does have a fourth-quarter lead. So, yeah, I think this is a golden opportunity for John Gruden and company. And so right at this moment, I am leaning Raiders. But if someone can talk me out of that, I'd listen to them. Elliot the Fifth is saying here, Raiders second half, Chargers equal choke artists. That might be a good angle.
Yeah, I like the Chargers first half. They've kind of shown us they can do that,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good call. Well, what about you, Dan? Do you have any strong feelings about this game?
Nothing strong. I mean, the Chargers, they're 2-5. You'd almost say they're the best 2-5 team out there. I mean, they've lost all their losses. I think all their losses have been by 1 score, or four. Every game they've lost has been by 1 score, and 4 of those losses they've had the lead in the fourth quarter. It reminds me of the Lions.
Right.
When 2 of them, they went into overtime with the Saints and the Chiefs. They went into overtime also. They can play. They're just like, I thought they had it so nailed against the Broncos. I'm like, you take Breeze and Mahomes into overtime, you lose to Brady by a touchdown. Like, you got Drew Lock, man. They did not have Drew Lock, man.
Herbert, he's completing on 67% of his passes. He's got weapons. Mm-hmm. I think the problem with them is Austin Eckler's not playing. That gives him the running game. That gives him the chance to control the ball in the fourth quarter and be able to run the clock. And they don't have that. So
Las Vegas, as I said, I think their defense is a little underrated, and they have a good 1-2 offensive punch there in Derek Carr and also Josh Jacobs. Mm-hmm. He has already 522 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Jacobs does. Derek Carr has 14 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions and 1,850 yards passing. I don't have an official play. I don't know. The Chargers got to win one of these, don't they?
That's just it.
They're due, isn't it? The due factor. I've lost a lot of money on the due factor. So
I have too. I have too.
Yeah.
I guess I would almost be what you were saying. I'd almost play first half over or first half Chargers, and then wait till they get a big lead in the third or fourth quarter and bet live the Raiders.
Yeah,
well,
good call.
We are going to do the Sunday in play for the early games this week. So anyone at home who wants to join us and follow along and make in play bets, we're going to start it at halftime of the first round of football games. So check that out. If you do want to do some halftime action, that's a
really good idea to start it up at halftime rather than at the beginning, actually.
Yeah. Well, then a really good feel for the game and how the flow and the teams are playing and who showed up today with their uniform on and ready to play a game and who didn't. So I find a lot of value in play betting.
Yeah, there's a guy I used to listen to in Chicago. This was before the NBA went into the bubble, before they broke up. But that was his thing. He'd wait for the Bulls to get up double digits in the second half, and then take whoever they're playing and take that plus big money, and he'd win like 4 out of 5.
Yeah,
you can find those teams. The Chargers are one of them. Right.
So, Ali, I wanted to ask you though about also Total Chaos. How was that going?
It went really well. We had our first losing week.
Okay. I mean, what can you do?
I had my first winning week. So I beat Kurt, and it was on his Colts that he's always loving his Colts and the under, and I took it over. Yeah. I won. I took one down. But we were 5, 6, and 1. It was that Monday night game that was our win or lose game, and we took it under and it went over. So
and it did late, didn't it?
Yeah, and it looked so under the whole dang game too. But but the important thing is I beat Kurt. That's what we got to take away from all of this.
And so Total Chaos will be again this Saturday. Are we going to get together to do that?
Yeah, I think I'm going to stream it from B Live is how we're going to do it. But
all right, cool.
Yeah, it should be good. It should be good. I'm excited. We've got our good picks. We're doing our preview videos tomorrow. So y'all can start looking for those, on Picks and Parlays, YouTube and Facebook and stuff. Get a little preview. But so we do have another game to talk about.
All right.
Speaking of the Colts, it's the Ravens at the Colts. Ravens are -2.5. The total's 45. Ravens coming off a loss at home, but wait, is that? Yeah, they did just play the Steelers.
Off the loss to Steelers,
It just flashed back into my head. Yeah, that was a good game.
I know, that's a lot to cover and get mixed up for a second, but they're off the loss. The Colts are off the big win over the Lions.
Yeah, that was a huge win.
Mm-hmm.
It was huge by the score, but beating the Lions is not a big or a huge win. You're beating the Lions.
Okay. But
I just knew it was a lot of points, a 20-point win.
I know what you meant. Yeah, it was big in score, but I mean, usually people say, "Oh, it was a huge win." It would be like the Ravens beating Pittsburgh. That would have been a huge win.
I thought the Lions weren't supposed to be like that horrible this year.
They had won 2 in a row. They had a bunch of momentum. They were at home. The Colts. I guess there had been a little bit of question, but they really did look a lot better there on both sides of the ball. Phillip Rivers and that defense also looked really good. Jonathan Taylor, he's been a standout in his rookie year for the Colts. He has, 389 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns so far. 5 different receivers have at least 100 receiving yards. Baltimore last year, it was the team to beat, and it came into this season with basically even odds with Kansas City to win the AFC. And so, I mean, that's obviously it appears as if the Ravens have taken a step back this season on both sides of the ball. Baltimore, it's seen the total go over the number in 4 of its last 5 following a loss, though. And so that's where I'm looking, guys. I'm looking at the total here. I don't have an official play on this one, but I'm leaning over. I think these are 2 teams just filled with offensive talent. Of course, there is talent on the defensive side as well. But off of that loss, Baltimore is really going to be pushing, trying to open it up, get back into that rhythm where they're just scoring lots of points. And in fact, the Colts have seen the total go over the number in 5 of their last 6 against the AFC themselves. And so that's my call. I think that this one's going over personally. That'll be my play on this one.
I like it over. I mean, losing to the Steelers 27-24 is not you just showed us that you can play football and you're down to compete, because that's no loss to feel really horrible about, but I agree with you. I think this is going to go over. They're going to come at each other and defense will be defense. I don't think it's going to be 40-30. It's going to be, 27 and something. I don't
Well, the defense is going to set up those offenses in good position. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dan?
I'm opposite you guys. I'm on the under.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. It's a couple of things. One, Indianapolis has weapons, but Taylor's got an ankle, and T.Y. Hilton's got a groin, and they're questionable. And even if they do play, will they be 100%? Mark Ingram's is questionable for the Ravens, and I'm just not sold on. I'm just not sold on Jackson. Baltimore. Baltimore has shown they just can't seem to win the games against teams that are equal or better than them. They always seem to be able to beat, or they always seem to win against the teams that they're supposed to beat, and they can't win that big game. The only thing you might have going for you on the over is that Marlon Humphrey won't be playing for the Ravens in the defensive backfield, but
right.
But
Philip Rivers, what about a side? If you were going to play a side, or do you have a play on the side?
If I was going to play on the side, I would lean Ravens.
Elliot the Fifth thinks the Ravens should be -6.
I lean the Ravens, but it's just, I don't know. Philip Rivers. I mean, if Philip Rivers, he looked great, but he was playing the Lions.
Well, I don't want to overreact to that score or anything either,
Yeah, but I mean, they lost. They've lost the Colts. 2 of their losses have been like bad losses. Lost to Jacksonville to begin the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think they lost to the Browns. I mean, they're good, but I think they're a little banged up, and we'll see. J.K. Dobbins is looking good for the Ravens coming out of the backfield. They do have some good wideouts. I think the defense is a step up. I think it'd probably be a little bit lower.
I mean, look at these are 2 really great defenses as well. But Allie and I, we think that these are just the way that, or that's what I'm thinking Allie is believing, but that's what I think. Just the way Baltimore lost last weekend. The Colts, they're now firing on all cylinders here. So I'm expecting a higher scoring game, but we don't always have to agree on everything, obviously. And we can keep our eyes on this one and talk about it the next time we get together.
Indeed. Yeah, that line opened at 44 and moved to 45, so it's trending towards the over.
Well, if we agreed on everything, there'd be no reason for people to turn.
Exactly. No reason to turn. Did you have any other picks that you wanted to give out there, Ellie? Did you have any rapid fire ones or?
No, I was supposed to get them and I didn't. But go check them out at Picks and Parlays YouTube and Facebook pages. Craig Trapp's rapid fire picks are up.
Yes, those are always the most popular videos, both the NFL ones and the college football ones.
Yes.
Craig always knocks those ones out of the park, and so I really enjoy watching those pieces as well.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. It really is. Okay, so then we will be back on Friday talking college football, and I'll get all the rapid fires for on Friday. I haven't done mine with him yet. I film mine on Thursdays. So,
right.
So, but no, I'll get all the rapid fires for the NFL and college football together from Craig. So we'll do that on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, like we've been doing, and then join us Saturday morning or afternoon, Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern for Total Chaos, where Kurt Alexander and I will go through the entire NFL card. And we have a few late college games, too, we're going to throw on there. Also, Nick will join us for that. And then Sunday morning, we have the Sunday in play. It starts at halftime, whatever time zone you're in, at halftime of the first round of games. So look out for that notification on your Picks and Parlays YouTube or Facebook notifications. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Go check out Nick Parsons and Dan Kaiser's premium picks over at Picks and Parlays. And yeah, guys, thanks so much.
All right.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications.
Bye.
Bye, guys.